Hello and welcome to the 9th episode of the Between Torp and Turret Podcast. Today, my guests are Jesper,
Hi.
Helix,
Hello.
and Arcti.
Hi.
And we're gonna start right off with the first topic of the day, being the fucking delay of the update. It said it was gonna be done at 10, but in the end it was done at 1 in the afternoon. So yeah, thank you Wargaming. Very nice. It's not like people looked forward to playing Cleveland and Kronshtadt for like a week or something. No. That wasn't happening. No, not at all.
No, it's not like an enormous amount of people are playing Cleveland right now.
Yeah.
Totally not.
No. That was Buffalo. Buffalo is ridiculous.
And also Buffalo, yeah.
It's completely ridiculous how many people playing Buffalo. I mean, it is a good ship, but yeah. Then next thing, I'll just go out a quick PSA. If you play a game in the Pepsi Cola, you get 190k Captain XP. I repeat, 190,000 Captain XP, basically for just playing one game in the Pepsi Cola, whether that be co-op or like randoms. This is done so you can retrain a 19-point Cleveland captain who finds himself on the Pepsi Cola unexpectedly now, right? Which makes complete sense. The funny thing is you can just say, okay, I'm gonna retrain the commander for 200,000 credits, right? And then just sack half of the Captain XP, basically free. So, yeah.
Except that's not how much it costs, because it's 300k, so it's actually 150k with credits, because it's retraining the captain, not for moving the captain from Pensacola to Cleveland.
What? Sorry?
When you move a 19-point captain, it costs a lot more than 190k to retrain it on a different ship. It's actually the retraining of the skills on the captain, which costs 190k.
Yeah,
so,
but still.
Respecting. Yeah, respecting.
But still, you get a huge load of Captain XP for basically nothing, right? So I think
I forgot about it. I already saw my fucking pep.
Which is why I say that, yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Well, better late than never.
Yeah. So before you sell your Pepsi Cola, play one game to get that for free. Next up, we're just gonna talk about this episode is basically just gonna be about Kronshtadt and to a lesser extent also Cleveland, which are probably the two most anticipated stages of this update. But we'll just go very quickly over the other changes, that being mostly the spotted ribbons. I think it's kind of nice that you get that, but I don't know for which ships they count, and I also don't know how much XP I get for them. So yes, it's nice I have them, but what I would like way more, what I think is way more important is the potential damage counter and the spotting damage counter that were introduced in the last update. So yeah,
I think the spotting thing, I'm not sure about how much XP it gives, whether it should be a multiplier or it's a base XP thing, but actually it's quite nice, and then maybe they should think about adding an achievement for it as well.
Because right now every single achievement that you can get, it's about kills
or damage.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is a step towards that.
Yeah, we should definitely get more achievements. I mean, that's just a given, right? And I think they're probably gonna give some eventually, like for some insane amount of spotting, an insane amount of tanking, right? All these things. Also, capping would be really nice, or decapping, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. As I said, we were gonna talk about Kronshtadt, because it is a huge ship, and it is a very, very pretty ship, actually. So, Jesper, you and I played quite some games today in Kronshtadt. So what was your initial impression in your first game?
Let's Yeah. I mean, I found it to be quite strong, actually. But also, it's not like you could push in and just, hey, have everybody and just wreck everyone. No, you couldn't do that. The opposite would happen, actually. So yeah, I think it's a balance ship.
Yeah. What ship would you compare it to closely? Like, what ship was in the game before that would kind of have that same playstyle? Is there any ship that you would say it's kind of similar or?
I mean, having played against them, I don't think they're particularly similar to many ships. Maybe
Well,
compared
I
to
think
Moskva,
it's. I personally think it's most similar to the Moskva.
Yes.
For a ship that is already in game.
Yeah. Do you agree with that, Jesper?
But it does not have the same playstyle.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would definitely most closely see it as a Moskva. It has very good AP. It has the same Russian railguns. It has the same number of guns, actually. It reloads kind of slow compared to its peers at tier 10 cruisers. It has huge guns.
Says the one who put reload. It says the one who put expert marksman, effectively the module one, territory first module on it.
Yeah, but I also have the reload mod, so it's still like it's 17 seconds, right? It's not that huge. Yeah. It also has huge guns, just like the Moskva, even though these are like substantially bigger, right?
Yeah. You can already see that it's especially with like the Royal Navy ships. It works really well on them, especially with also combined with the radar.
Oh yeah.
In that way, the Kronshtadt is quite like a cruiser that can actually push together and should be at the front. And if battleships pussy out, then you have always the Kronshtadt if he pushes forward.
A bit like a Missouri.
Yeah, but more maneuverable and well, the guns are smaller, but they still do the job. I think that's quite strong.
What?
Especially with the.
But once you commit, you can't pull out. It's
Yeah,
very hard.
but it also counts for battleships, and it still does it better than the normal battleships. That have like the bow on gameplay.
A battleship can turn around and have a chance for not getting one tapped.
Yeah, as long as
Kronshtadt can't do that.
As long as it is in distance.
Yeah, but I don't think we have the same idea of being at the front. Then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so having played Kronshtadt, I must say that this huge, absolutely massive citadel is a slight problem. But for some reason, people don't seem to be able to hit it that reliably. I guess that's just the new ship, right?
Yeah, because it's a new ship, you don't know quite the sweet spot where you need to hit.
Yes, but on the other side, I have been hit for huge salvos. I'm angling in. I'm trying to rely on my 230 millimeter armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a Missouri at 15 kilometers, and he just wrecks me with 15k damage while I'm perfectly angled. That's the problem of the Kronshtadt. It has 25 millimeters everywhere. The front.
Even the bow?
Yeah. The bow, the aft, the upper belt,
that's
everywhere.
The main thing, yeah. That's
and you just get fucked.
I think
like,
this is
the belt is nice.
A good example of why Stalingrad losing 32 millimeters is such a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's also losing HE for it. And, well, I guess we kind of know why, but still.
Okay. That brings me to... I just kind of want to get this done with. The 25 millimeters everywhere is just such a big weakness that you can't brawl with battleships, honestly. You just can't do it because you just get overmatched and eat 15k salvos, even if you don't get citadeled. So
the only way I can see that happen is when the Kronshtadt could, if it could sneak up, but because it has such a great detection ratio, it can't do that.
yeah.
Hmm.
So that's just the impression I had. Also, it is kind of hard to kill cruisers with it, because again, even ships without IFAG, like even Kutuzov without IFAG, can just pan you everywhere, no problem. Yeah, it has a lot of problems going for it that do not enable it to go tanking in the front line.
No, but that's.
It is more
I think,
survivable than a
part of
rune.
its cruiser.
It is more survivable than Neptune, definitely.
Oh my, Neptune is.
But it is
interesting.
in no way a battleship from a survivability standpoint. Yes. Next up is HE, because Jesper made an interesting statement to it. Jesper, do you wanna repeat your statement on the APHE thingy?
As I feel like it would be much better to have a super strong AP instead of kind of bad AP and HE.
Yeah. So what he meant was the HE is complete garbage. It's hot garbage on the Kronshtadt. It just doesn't do a lot of damage. It doesn't have that good of a fire chance.
Yeah.
Not for the reload. Like the alpha is good, but it's good for a ship that has 10 seconds or 8 seconds reload. Not for 18, right? So that's the problem with that. Also, you have battleship dispersion. So that is another big detriment to that. You don't even hit all of your HE shells. How would like you would with a normal cruiser?
I did experience 1 to 2 hits a lot at 14 kilometers in game and range.
Yeah.
Either I'm bad at aiming or I don't know.
Yeah, the battleship dispersion definitely makes itself known.
And the arcs is so flat, so it gets
even worse. Yeah, gets even worse, just like with Bismarck and Roma. The higher your shell velocity is, the higher the potential of just your shells just going over or under, right? Because you're not arcing into the target. It might be that just a slight deviation in higher or lower makes a huge difference with these flat arcing shells.
Especially close range.
No, at close range it doesn't make any difference. Because every shell is straight.
No, but sometimes with close range, I'm talking from experience with battleships, especially German battleships, where you like there's a cruiser really close by and he's broadside on. No, he's not broadside on you, but he's going straight for you. You shoot and all your sails miss, or most of them miss. That is the battleship dispersion that I know.
Yeah, and you just don't have that to that extent with Japanese and American battleships because they are actually arc. So that is another problem of Kronshtadt gunnery. But with that being said, the penetration of the AP is phenomenal in my experience. Just citadeling Yamatos at 7 kilometers is pretty nice, I must say.
And it's not quite good at citadeling broadside cruisers because you just overpen them.
Yeah, that's the downside there. You can do some serious damage against broadside battleships.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's a bit too much for cruisers. Like Cleveland, you just overpen. There's no way you do not overpen cruisers. Full pens are kind of rare, unfortunately. And at ranges where you would get full pens, you just don't hit them. Like at 13 kilometers, I would get a full pen on a Cleveland probably, but I just don't hit them at that range. So that's kind of weird. Then again, the where other cruisers wouldn't get citadels at ranges, you do get citadels. So I guess it balances out eventually.
Well, I think a 17-second reload is pretty quick for 305 millimeter barrels. So
Yeah.
you can get the feeling that you are spamming with battleship shells sometimes, and eventually some things will stick to it.
The problem is battleships have another advantage, that being overmatch. You just don't have it. You just don't have
No, but
overmatch advantage about anything.
think-
So that's
yeah, but that's not the way of the Kronshtadt. I think the Kronshtadt, it's in its own ways, is just such a unique ship that we don't have seen earlier. It maybe even needs a different playstyle than. Of course, it needs a different playstyle than the normal crews that are in game or the battleships.
yeah.
So I think that if you get to understand the playstyle that that ship needs, then I think it can be. I can still be pretty strong, especially with the AP and
You
Citadel
need to
and
play it
battleships.
at long range because that's where the penetration drops off enough to reliably Citadel cruisers.
But then again, you don't hit at long range, so yeah.
Well, you have to spam it.
Well,
it's
yeah,
just,
it's possible to hit cruisers. Just
Yeah.
and this is where it comes in with also
the
with
thing
your,
is,
your AP. Yeah, like
They-
Stalingrad AP.
your AP tends to bounce if they touch the rudder and get into enough angle as well. That's another thing.
Yeah. As you said already, it would be kind of nice to just have an AP only ship, if the HE is gonna be crap anyway, and just have improved ricochet angles and stuff. That
I will
would
be fine
an
with it.
improved.
I wouldn't go too much overboard with the improved.
I mean,
Yeah,
we are getting
um,
Stalingrad, and I think that is what you're looking for. Even though
Yes.
with the testing, the dispersion is also not that great. But whatever, I'm looking forward to that ship.
Well, I mean, they're thinking about giving it cruiser. Wasn't it the AP version that had cruiser dispersion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah,
is as
yeah.
well that the difference between Kronstadt and Stalingrad is the armor, very much so. And if they give, and this is why I don't really understand why they were giving Kronstadt, oh sorry, rather Stalingrad the test version with just 25mm armor, because if they're releasing Kronstadt anyway, you get pretty good data from that with just the 25mm armor for Stalingrad anyway, because they're very similar sized ships.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want the ship to be that way just because it is to be for testing. I mean, if you're gonna make it's a freemium, it's already out, and Wargaming is not going to change it. And I think they did not want the Kronshtadt to be just like the same armor like the Stalingrad, because otherwise no one is going to get the Kronshtadt
Hmm.
or the Stalingrad.
Yeah.
For that matter.
I mean, if the Kronstadt were to be basically a smaller version of a Stalingrad, or like a tier 9 version of a Stalingrad, there's would be no difference, right? But I do hope that the Stalingrad will be an improved Kronstadt without HE, with better armor. And that would be a really cool ship from the experience I have with the Kronstadt right now. Yeah, Jesper, is there anything you want to add to the Kronstadt?
Like what?
I don't know. Have you had any extremely fun experiences that you want to share? Oh, you one-tapped a gearing, right? With BBAP.
No,
What?
I didn't.
What?
I thought you did.
No, that was a Chapayev. I was trying to torpedo rush me. And just so it happens that he was angling in, and then he turned. So I shot before he got into the overpen area.
You know what the Kronstadt misses? Torpedoes.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
even
was
need to be
chased
like
by a buffalo today, and I couldn't run. So in the end, the buffalo rammed me because I ran aground. And I I survived because buffalo has way less HP than Kronstadt has, right? but I had to repair one of his triple fire on me earlier, so I didn't have a repair up. And then I flooded to death. That was kinda. But I could have killed him if I had 4-kilometer torpedoes that all the other Russian cruisers get, right? I don't even need the 8 kilometers of the Donskoy or Kutuzov. I just want these 4-kilometer last resort, last ditch torpedoes that everyone else gets.
Well, I think if you do that, it's a slippery slope towards having no weaknesses.
Yeah,
in general with ships, to be honest.
Yeah, it would be really nice though. Then I had another. Just before that happened, I was rushed by a Gajamada, who still had about 12k HP left. And I just one-tapped him with HE. He came around the corner 2.2 kilometers away from me. Poof, gun. Before he got to launch his torpedoes.
Poor guy.
That was very nice.
If he had got to launch his torpedoes, you would have been a very dead man, because torpedoes and Stalingrad do not go well together.
Kronshtadt
even, yeah.
Kronshtadt has 33% torpedo belt.
Is it high?
That is a lot for a cruiser.
All of the torpedoes.
Oh yeah, the Iowa has 36, right?
Something like that.
For a cruiser, that is amazing.
That's actually pretty good.
It's incredible.
Zhao has like 27%.
But then it needs to hit the belt armor.
Yeah, but the belt armor on the Kronshtadt is huge because the Citadel is huge.
Yeah.
So the Citadel protection
is that
humongous.
Yeah. Well, the thing is about that though is that it actually has to dodge you're going to eat every single torpedo that's fired at you because it's so massive and terrible turning circle, and literally just like it's basically a battleship when it comes to that. In fact, even worse than some battleships in terms of that, because it has worse turning circle than a lot of battleships. So yeah, that's an interesting one. We'll see.
I managed to turn my ship in pretty tight spaces today, actually. I was very surprised what I got.
What did you get?
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I don't not know what I had.
Okay.
But it is not very good. I can tell you that. Yeah, but I was surprised that it's not the most terrible thing ever. Yeah, I haven't seen any aircraft carriers today. Wonder why. But
I wonder if it's got anything to do with the Clevelands and Buffaloes.
Yes, I wondered that too.
I've seen one actually, but
the thing is just from what I heard, Midway AP bombers just straight up delete Kronstadts. So
the Citadel armor is just the same as the Demoy.
Yeah. So
I think they should. I really don't like the AP bombers in the game right now.
Speaking of AP bombers, you can now tell if a bomber squadron that's approaching you has AP or HE bombers.
Oh, so you can focus the right amount of bombers then, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that it's make you think about selecting the right priority to focus fire on.
Yep. I think this is a very much needed improvement. It should have been in the game from the start, but whatever. Now we finally have it, and I'm very glad we do. Oh yeah, that's that way. Because of that, I had the spotting plane instead of defensive fire, and I could try out shooting a bit further for once in my Kronshtadt, and I could affirm that I am not able to hit more than 1 or 2 shells at that range, even if my target is not changing direction at all. So yeah.
But sometimes you get the MLG dispersion that gives you 20k damage.
Yes, sometimes you delete people at those ranges, definitely. But most of the time you just get 2 overpens and that's it. You're shooting at a completely broadside Donskoy, right? At 15 kilometers. You aim and he doesn't turn or does anything. and you get 2 overpins, and that's it. So yeah, highly rewarding, much fun. Wow.
Many well, yeah.
Fun and engaging.
Yes. All right. If we're gonna stop with the Kronshtadt here and go on to Cleveland, the other highly anticipated ship of today. Cleveland has been moved to tier 8, as many people undoubtedly know.
Yes.
Yes, and it has access to radar and radar, defensive fire, and sonar
Hydro.
at the same time, which is a lot. But also, if you run premium on all those, you're gonna make very little money. Yeah. So that's that.
Well, with the few games that I played in the Cleveland, it's like I was in a situation where I pushed 2 cruisers who were full broadside to me, so of course I load AP. But then I shoot them exactly where I normally shoot in Des Moines, and if I was in Des Moines, I would easily have just done quick work of those 2 cruisers. But now I couldn't get citadels. It was really strange how I didn't get huge amount of damage from such close range from like 8 kilometers, and yeah, that was the main thing about it actually. You expect more damage than but that's the main thing, because it was tier 6, and if you did this in tier 6, then you would immediately destroy them. But now you are at higher tiers, and you get much more overpans or and less citadel hits than you were supposed to get.
I mean, that's always been the case. Tier 6 or tier 8.
Yeah, but I'm not really known well with guns, with 150 guns in higher tiers.
Mm.
And I'm having a certain expectation that it would be like in a certain way Des Moines or that I can at least citadel them to death from like 8 kilometer range, but that didn't happen, and
Nope.
I was quite surprised about that.
Absolutely not.
No, you have to be
150,
like 5 kilometers.
150, 180 millimeter guns are very bad for penetrating armor.
Good actually, to be fair. But 150 is not great. Yeah, you have to be like 5-6 kilometers away to have any chance of citadeling anything.
Or be a British cruiser.
Yeah, but
British cruisers aren't brilliant at that either, to be honest. The pen is not great.
The pen is really
but the pen is at least higher than the Cleveland has.
The thing with the British cruisers is just that you pump out more shells. That's like the only difference.
No,
Really?
it also has a better penetration value.
No.
than no?
No,
It's better
it just feels
normalization.
like it.
Fuse time is the different thing. Yeah,
Oh,
better
okay.
normalization and different fuse time.
Yes.
So you tend to overpen less, you do more damage.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah.
But that's like the opposite problem, basically.
Yeah, the penetration is very similar to Cleveland, I would assume.
Well,
Yeah,
at least they can
definitely.
shoot HE, and that's the main strength of them.
Yeah.
Of course, you need IFHE, but if you got that, phew.
I have played only one game in Cleveland today because I had too much fun in Kronshtadt. But I must say that the also because the fucking update was delayed 3 hours, so I didn't have that much time. Fuck you, Wargaming. No, sorry. The fire chance, like when Jesper and I played the Cleveland on the test server, what we noticed is that the fire chance is absolutely ridiculous, and that seems to be true on the live server as well. I had 75 hits and 8 fires, so yeah, that seemed kind of nice. Also, I had 55k damage at the end of the round, but I had spotted 4 people. And I had 4 spotting ribbons, right? And I died in the first 5 minutes. Alright, so I'm still the 4th best on the team. And we won, by the way, so it's not like our team was complete crap. So, yeah, Cleveland is kind of strong. Radar is good, obviously. Hydro is very good, because you can push into DDs, or into DD smokes with radar on, and Hydro on, so you don't even need to be scared of torpedoes. The problem with playing against DDs is how long these shells fly through the air or hang in the air, right? They are very, very floaty. And I had problems hitting destroyers that were running away from me. Yeah, it ranges like 10 kilometers. It was very hard to me to hit those guys. But when you hit, you do ludicrous amounts of damage, so I guess it evens out a bit. So what
In
were
that
your
way, yeah.
impressions of this ship?
Well, I'm playing my first game right now, and I just got for 25k in my first salvo when I'm stern on. So there you go. Potato armor. There you go.
Well, the thing is, Arcti, you're doing it wrong. The Cleveland is has an extremely
yeah.
weird citadel that no one seems to be able to find.
Gotta
it has-
reverse broadside, man.
Yes, and you have absolutely no armor. So yeah, as Jesper said, reverse broadside. Use Unicam tactics.
Yeah, well, the Musashi just hit me for 30k anti-salvos, so there you go.
That's Musashi. He always does that.
Yeah, but the Musashi should not do that much damage.
It should
And also,
overpen.
yeah,
You were not broadside on, were you?
Well, I was broadside the second time.
But you only took 5k damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
see,
even
works.
so, he only hit 3 shells on the first salvo because I dodged most of the rest of it.
Yeah, but those full penned. So that's the problem you had there.
No, they didn't. It was a double Citadel and a pen. To do that
Yeah,
much
still.
damage, you have to stupid amounts of damage. Look, the thing is that it, like many other light cruisers, doesn't matter what you do. If you go broadside, it doesn't matter. You're going to take shit tons of damage, and it sucks. And that's the problem with all light cruisers.
But you're supposed to be island hiding.
I was island hiding, and then I had to leave because I was pushed out.
Then you're supposed to leave before you get spotted.
But I was spotted in the process of leaving. It's like
Then you're
not
shit.
gonna do anything. Yes, obviously. Yeah, obviously.
All right. Yeah, the Cleveland obviously has problems. With survivability.
It's too vulnerable. That's the thing.
Mm.
But
You
it
can't
has
push with it. You have to do the streets island hugging. I mean, even though that's the main line specialty in a certain way, you can't push out, and in certain ways with the Cleveland you can.
The problem
With,
is that it's trying to be almost like what do you call it, the Russian cruisers and like the British cruisers at the same time, and that just doesn't really work, in my opinion. The problem is that it doesn't have the smoke screen with the terrible survivability and no range, and a terrible radar in terms of the range on that as well. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem to have the Russian cruisers have good ranged radar, okay-ish concealment, meh armor. I mean, it's not brilliant, but it's also not that bad either. But they have good range and really good ballistics. The British cruisers, they have they have kind of meh ballistics, but they have smoke, terrible survivability. But because they have smoke, that doesn't really matter too much. They have the option of radar, sure, but it's a pretty it's
British cruisers are not as squishy as it make them out to be, though.
Oh, they're more squishy than a. Well, yeah, that's true. That is true. Neptune is awful. Neptune is really awful.
I mean,
It's
that
so
always
dumb.
depends on tier. Edinburgh
But-
is very hard to hit the Citadel of because it's underwater. And everything else
Ooh.
is automatic overpens.
I mean, yes, you might get one tapped. Yes, that's true. But when it comes down to it, you're usually the one British cruisers are usually the ones that can take the most battleship shells.
Yeah, because of the hill.
They're not as not survivability make them to be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Neptune has a huge Citadel again. Most Minotaur also has a huge Citadel, but those two have ridiculous heals as well.
Well, yeah, but Edinburgh has the
So-
same hill. The problem is that Neptune has is that it's too big. It doesn't turn.
Oh, yeah.
And Minotaur can deal with the turning, so it's good. Yeah, it's kind of another unrelated issue, to be honest. But yeah, the Cleveland its issues are that it doesn't have one strong suit, but it also doesn't have yeah, like
No,
it's
it
not
has
a
it has
particularly
it has
amazing
weaknesses.
technical trades like a Des Moines is almost.
But on the other hand, I must say that the DPM of the Cleveland is absolutely unholy. Just 4K salvos every 8 seconds is just slightly ridiculous.
Yeah, but that also needs to be within range and in
Reload
certain
is better than
situations.
8 seconds.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it
Pretty
6
sure
then?
it's like 6.5 or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, it's really, really fast, and you do
Yeah,
a
6 hours.
huge amounts of damage, and you set huge amounts of fires. So I'd say if you find a position, if you are actually good, you find a position, get to that position, you can dish out massive amounts of damage. You can and you will dish out massive amounts of damage. Yeah. As I said, even while I was getting spammed by 4 people, I was getting shot at by 4 people, and while that was in place, I still did 55k damage and killed the St. Louis in the process. So I feel like it's fine. Yeah, but that's again only after 1 game and a couple games on the test server. So anyone have any closing statements to this?
Buffalo is super fun.
Oh, okay. Tell me about the Buffalo. I have not played
Buffalo is yeah. It's like a mix between a Zao and a Des Moines. It's quite nice. I've been running range mod because I like Zao. So yeah, it's quite fun, but it's squishy.
What does the
But at
range
tier
get up
9,
to?
I think it's 18 kilometers with a range mod.
Oh,
So it's not too bad, yeah.
And
The
what are the
thing
ballistics?
is that it's kind of like the ballistics. They seem bad, but they're not that bad at all. Like it's better than an Ibuki in terms of ballistics. I think this is actually a very fun ship to play, in my opinion, and is just completely power crept the Ibuki to the point where Ibuki is just why does it even exist? What is the point?
Free XP-sing.
What is its existence?
Free
Yeah.
XP-sing.
Can we replace the Ibuki with a 3-turret Zao? Please.
No, with the 5-turret Mogami with better. No, Ibuki with Mogami turrets.
I wouldn't play that. I didn't really like Mogami that much anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Like Buffalo is it's surprisingly fun. I was expecting it to be boring and kind of yeah. I was expecting it to not be not particularly fun, but it was surprising. It surprised me. I enjoyed playing it. The AP is yeah, a nice addition over Zao. And the HE is not quite as good, but definitely not bad.
Are you calling Zao AP bad?
Well, Zao AP, you wouldn't use it over HE.
What?
Well,
I've death striked way too many Minotaurs with Zao AP at this point.
But a Minotaur is a Minotaur. You're going to fire AP at that, but it doesn't matter what ship you're playing.
I mean, yeah, but I've shot AP into quite some cruiser broadsides at this point, and it is very nice. It's very nice.
The problem with Zao AP is that why
Takes
would you
too long
fire
to
AP
load.
when you get 6k salvos when you can get 8k salvos with HE? And also, yeah, the thing is it's not got the same auto bounce, and yeah, some of the Buffalo and Des Moines have on their AP, which is really, really nice.
The problem I find when it comes to AP is that Kronshtadt AP feels like cruiser AP, but with battleship problems. So there you have that.
What do you mean, like with battleship dispersion, or?
The issue of overpenning.
Oh yeah.
And then auto bounces. You can't overmatch. So.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I definitely do see what you mean. That is coming back again to the AP problems, right? The HE is shit, so you should shoot AP, but the AP is also kind of crap. Because you have the cruiser problems with you can't overmatch, but you also have the battleship problems, meaning you overpen all the time, and you have battleship dispersion, which is a huge problem. Yeah. It's kind of weird. The only thing that makes them kind of okay is that they turn faster than battleships, and second that they fire faster. But I'm not sure if that's good enough. It's been fun on the first day, but I'm not sure how this will hold up till next week. But we will see. Until then, we will talk about again, and then we will have a bit more of a discussion, I think. Maybe also on the other American cruisers. All right. Does anyone have anything else they want to talk about really much?
Not really.
Don't think so.
Jesper, you?
No.
All right. Then we're gonna stop the episode here. Thanks everyone for listening, and see you next time. Bye.